really kind of got it. Gosh, having a little bit of issue here. Second. Oops, no, not do that. Okay, let's see what happens. Hopefully you can hear me. All right. Hello, Kaiti people. Hello, Facebook people. Did not put my tapestry up. Was so anxious to kind of get started because I haven't pulled the cards yet. I have this wonderful like quartz and it's quartz and malachite geo type thing from Uruguay. And I have another, it's a druzy amethyst with a crystal quartz there. I don't think it's it could be a green because it looks kind of green, but it's just the quartz for sure. But this is the druzy part of the amethyst and our agate. So it's amethyst and agate and a quartz like that. And then I think this is my kind of raw azeztolite. It's hard to almost appreciate it. You have to get it at a certain angle. Right, so beautiful. Right. It's like, let me go. Maybe I'm not Vanna White with this, but anyway, yeah. I just wanted to probably light some incense. Tonight's topic, sort of as an accompaniment for the other night. I think it's kind of partnering, but I have just physically asked to not get downloaded with a lot of cards, but just to be, insightful for what the reveal may be. And so tonight's topic is, just be accurate. So I think it's like navigating trickery and deception and just staying in our power, basically. But there's a lot of subjects around us and people around us. We're all having our path and our situations unfold. More and more news, the evil news, is revealing little bits. I bet someone was telling me about CNN and they put some blatant thing that once they reported one and then they retracted the whole thing, whatever that topic was. But it was this morning when it was revealed to me, it was very potent. And that's what's happening on all major television stations that the evil, one second. Evil that isn't winning. We're not on that timeline. We are on a very good timeline. I always like that. Oh, ouchie, ouch. Okay, so maybe that will work. Right. Getting a little ouched with stuff, but so because it was getting later, I didn't want to spend, I guess I was just in a rush to come on and chat and read some cards. I think that was just mostly it. And I thought it was getting later, so here we are, we're at 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and most of it is just the ramble topic setup. So trickery and deception, how to see the best in the circumstances, how you can be moved to that, how you can allow yourself space to assess what's going on, how you feel, how you think. Might there be room to feel into it? If it's all you recognizing truth or perhaps too close to a subject, so this is sort of on the heels of the other night that I had. You may be perceiving a limited or slightly askew version because we all have subjects that are so close to our immediate realities, experience, emotions, and previous beliefs and thought forms. And so, what if we're being slightly influenced in that field because all we are is energy? What if we watch? What if we decide the XYZ is withholding or lying or deceiving or on purpose doing its best to trick us, me and you? And, you know, or whatever the multitude, whatever the subjects, the people, the whatever in between, how can we navigate the bombardment of dysfunctions? Let the cards have a word with us. They often remind me and you, if you will, of the glory of good that you inherently are and how to see and use your resonant fields. That is your hyper-auric field, your sub-auric field under your skin, and your own auric field, the hyper-auric field being extended, and then the extension beyond the extension of your hyper-auric field, right? Because all you are is energy and all you are is radiating in the field as field of energy. So if you like this segment, please share it with others. And I left in the description how to support if you so choose to. But anyway, yeah, we're being bombarded with distortions, dysfunctions, lies. We're being bombarded with some truths here and there, if you know where to look. We're being asked to grow, but again, so much is going on energetically. It's very easy to be consumed and react rather than be in repose and respond. So I just thought I'd pull a few cards on reminding us about and see what they would say, really, because it's not me. I'm going to pull cards. They're going to talk. They're going to basically be the iconic images that I am going to report on, have us navigate through this trickery and this deception deceit. Because 2020 was a year of seeing clearly. And some people did, but felt pressured or mixed up, and they were confused, and they did things against their body and soul. Some people did not see clearly at all, from my point of view, but they did what they were told because they had more belief program going on, obey program going on. And for some reason, we've been groomed that the news is our doctor. We've been, regular television news is our doctor. The regular television news is the United States, for example, Constitution, or whatever country you're in. That's the real deal. Where I know firsthand, sitting in my chiropractor's office, that a mom who had a reporter doctor in Australia lost her job reporting mostly on murders and deaths, and right there was the dead body, and she reported what was there. But in these last couple of years, it was more like, yeah, sure, but you're gonna read and cover it the way we have already decided it should be covered. And that's what you just do. You just read what we decided, television station, what you reporter should say. She backed away. She quit her job. So that's me telling you what a mom said. So I guess in some ways she's firsthand, but the daughter, but I'm going to say I'm firsthand and now it's secondhand to you if you tell someone, because that woman lives in the United States, her daughter's living in Australia. I'm just telling you it's a real deal. A lot of this shit going on, okay? So when I visit with the cards, this is about how we stay bold, navigating through the trickery. I did not shuffle these. I think this is all the cards. Okay. So you can give us one or three. Reveal to us our power and how we stay really navigating the trickery and deception. How can we see that in light and goodness and care and fostering? So there's two, one and two. Now I'll do the tarot. So Let's see what's going on. I don't know. So help us. How do we be on this path? How do we see really what deception or trickery there is, and how might we remind ourselves to navigate these dysfunctions? Now, I realize. One second. There we go. It's gonna stay. 1 second. What would be the best symbol to report out of this? Okay, okay. Just the 2 and so 2 and 2, and that felt easy and not forced. So there's 2 oracle cards and 2 tarot cards. So most humans in the body, most humans in these bodies, we will have family units will be extremely dysfunctional. There'll be many layers of complications based on being in the womb, soul choice being in the womb, coming out, coming into the earth. The dominant people around us we have to trust, our beliefs and our expressions, our own survival as a little hunker, chunky out of the body from another human and existing. So there's all kinds of radiation around us truly when we are born. And we are taking in so much. But we pick and choose, even as a little chunkers, how to survive, when to cry, to survive, to get the food, to get attention, to get picked up, to do our best, because most people are not clairvoyant, clairaudient, psychic, don't understand. This is not solid, and this is air, and then it stops, and then there's you, and then there's baby, oh, what's wrong, it's crying, and I don't know, it hasn't pooped, blah, blah, blah. No. So once we start understanding to read our energy fields, at the very least, we're going to understand that something is up. Something doesn't feel right, or maybe I don't have enough information. I have to learn how to ask better questions. I have to learn how to trust my gut, my instinct, my hunches, and that these are not stupid things to do. These are part of our energy and how we learn, how we train our own unit to recognize what works in the world to help us more than survive, to thrive. To just know, to go left or go right, to go straight, to move backwards, stay, to do what we need to do that will be ultimately best, not by necessary proof, but just by that energy and frequency. So that by recognizing this resonance and being soft and kind with ourselves too, as we learn about it and feel through, okay, some people might be influencing you. You might allow it because perhaps what they say sounds correct. And you need a few hours or an hour or a couple of days, and you start to reassess, well, is that really my energy that I'm getting a good reading on this, or is it a little bit influenced by other people I have trusted or care about? Is there some point in the mix that there's truths aboard and the big truth, and you're still navigating some way based on information and questions and gut feelings? So it's okay. It's all okay. I think that the cards are just going to be a little bit transparent on that trust about recognizing trickery and deception and who and what to eliminate, or, if you will, step back from. You don't have to do it with, sometimes, like I have a mouth and I'll just say stuff, swear and things like that. But sometimes you can just step back and observe more. And as it's appropriate, ask more questions if you can. Definitely asking questions of feeling for yourself and taking good care of yourself. These are things that are going to be more natural, more talked about, more an expression of taught in schools or educational arenas. I don't even know if they'll be called schools or educational arenas, because the word education and school seems to have been so taken over by psychopaths and well-meaning wimpy people that why would you almost even want to put your kid in school? except it's socialization and they get to do activities and they do learn some things, but based on the past 2 years, they learn crap. That's how I feel about that. And and I have a glorious friend who has her kids in really great colleges, but I'd be like, don't bother right now. Go on a long trip. Anyway, you may have gone that route with college thinking you want, isn't it interesting? Like, get an education, got to do it the right way, got to do it this way. It's really going to matter. It's going to, be the next phase of getting a good job. Well, maybe and maybe no. This world is changing. 2023, let's see, 2023, so that's 5, 6, 7. Expect a spiritual awakening, I believe is my number 7. I don't have it around. Let me go get my book because I want to talk the numbers. Did you know? Didn't have the curtain in a way, so it didn't take me as long. I'm kind of anxious also to see what the cards are that are helping us with this issue of the navigating the trickery and dysfunction and the recognizing how to take stock of all of that. So let's see, I've got my number of pages here. And just as a fresh up, 7. Prepare for spiritual awakening. Good luck, good fortune, synchronistic events. So 2023, a year of cleanup, a year of real spiritual awakening. Prepare. Be open to the realm of the divine. So we'll leave this here for right now. We've got a paper here for our numbers that might come up. I've got my other books to see what the writers had to say about the cards. So let's see. I did the oracle cards first. Let me turn over them. All right. Prepare for a major event. It's a number 2. It's Arthur and King Arthur and Nectar's Glen. So this is his preparation to prepare for his being crowned king. Prepare for a major event. And then reflect and release, 31. So we have a 2 and we have a 4. So 2 is about balance in all ways. Can be a coupling, but is 2, the light, the dark, the up, the down, the side, left and right, the yin and yang, male and female, balance. And 4, that is, the leap of faith. So as we are in an arena where much is coming to the surface, and perhaps then in your life and in your work life and neighbors and immediate areas around you, neighborhoods, even cities, even the globe, the world peoples, prepare for a major event. In these dysfunctions, lies, deceits, these situations are leading to a major event. I think the major event is you in your growth, because you are about to step into this dark night of the soul where we soul search or have an avenue where you reflect shadow of all kinds and you come out of it crowning yourself king or queen. That's all working out, navigating through these dysfunctions and this distortion, this trickery. Reflect and release. This isn't about blaming yourself or blaming others. This is about reflecting, forgiving, letting go. Speaking is a lot of light blue here. This is a very spiritual card of the heart, even though there's not a lot of major green, but the hills are green. Where this is your root chakra, and also recognize a connection to your psychic self, your spirit self by the white. There's a little bit of blue, but there's also, and I think that's more black, but let me just check. So you could take it as, again, more root chakra, the sides of the wall, or even the deepening dark of forest. I think it's the size of this rocky glen place he was in. There's water. It's like there's water. So this is very, pretty much very much root chakra and going within for the spiritual. And this is more of the voice chakra and the crown chakra rather than not the grounding. There's a little bit of heart, like I said, in there. You also have the number, there's two doves in here to follow the number two, again, for the partnering, the balance, the up and down, the light, the dark. And there's also reflect and release. So there's a dog, right? A dog type. And then there's a cat. What they say are opposites, and yet they're not. They're still of a same family. And look at how everyone is harmonizing and getting along. So leap of faith and trusting your higher guides. So I would say that these cards, in terms of the deception or trickery that we're in around us, taking a look at, wanting to navigate through, is a time for us to check inside ourselves, what's really going on ourselves within the arena of the globe, the immediate family, the workplace, your own beliefs, and going within and checking how I really feel about this. I'm assessing, how am I tricked? What am I listening to? How I can emerge with the honesty of myself, become clear and crown myself. And then with reflect and release, as I'm partnered in this, in this crowning, to also know that I'm releasing. I'm really staying in care and I'm really staying in the light of good. I'm not going to fall back and be hard on myself. That's me too, because I can be hard on myself in terms of my projections and my readings, but also you, the assessment, the release, the reflecting, the repose, and then navigating that with grace. So let's see. So those two numbers, 2 and 4, are 6, which is about letting go of negativity around you. Rid your life of negative energies, connect to your higher self. So this theme about navigating these dysfunctions and these deceptions and trickery still comes back to us. It still comes back to us in our own accountability, which is really interesting, right? Because we want to say, oh, like I would say, oh, the TV is still lies, so don't pay too much attention, see the broader picture, but it still comes down to us. Because the TV wouldn't have us as a collective mass entity. It comes down to us, what seems like simple folk, allowing other folk to take their money, their titles, their education, their land, their money, their connections, and say, well, we know better because we have more. But they don't really say that, but because we have more, because we worked for it, because I got a title of XYZ, so I know more, and therefore you should follow what I say. That time is ending. There will be a time on our planet when people are chosen because of their virtue and honesty for the beings, for humankind or any kind. And so they're navigating negotiations and conferences and peace talks and establishing communities out of the respect of the universe, out of respect for all beings of whatever we look like, whether we look like reptilians, whether we look like dogs, cats, cows, human form, other entity form. This is all about our cleaning up ourselves too in this connection of trickery and deception. Because if we don't clean up ourselves, we're not going to get rid of trickery and deception, and we'll always play a part in that role of either being tricked and deceived or some little piece of us also allowing trickery and deceive as we speak, just so we can slide by, so that we can get to a next step. And that need not be an option. That need not be an option. War need not be an option. But the correct people of nobility and virtue, the correct people who we can feel their radiation, care, and goodness, the correct people who absolutely don't do a job or representation for money, or whether we trade in chickens or crystals or socks, whatever multitude of gifting, they are not swayed by a perception or definition or coercion to keep kindling trickery and deception paths and dysfunctions. So that is for us to step up as well. Okay, so the first card and the second card. Ah, my gosh, how are these things upside down? You know, I didn't fix the cards from the other night, but I think I might. Do I have a repeat? No, I don't have a repeat. I tell you, I think like my cards are all straight in one row, you know, not, they're all supposedly like facing you the right way, but then they're not. Hello. So what I got, and this is very interesting, I got a two of earth and a two of air. And wait till you see them because they kind of mimic the cards that they, the one oracle card and the second oracle card, and then I picked the first tarot card and the second tarot card. They're kind of matched up a bit, and I'll show you first in a moment. So this is the first tarot card I picked, two of air. And you'll notice, while it's ethereal and feeling spiritual and light, there are the darker colors. So for lower, like thinking of your root chakra and your legs and grounded to the earth, two of earth, right? So this is very interesting that it complements the prepare for a major event. And it is a number two. So just because I have the book with me, let's go through a number two here again. Oops. Right? Vibration of balance, male and female, the light and dark. Expect harmony and balance. Allow yourself to connect with your higher self. Points to relationships, communication, and teamwork. A number of optimism. So in this deception, in this all it is, remember I always talk about how evil is a mirror to see where you're at in your goodness. We cannot exist without the dark and the light because we are a electromagnetic magnetic universe and light and dark exist. It's all about balance. So navigating paths of trickery and deception is also about checking within, also about being grounded to the earth. Do your walking barefoot as much as you can, or do some mantra prayer or the spell casting of positive words as you go throughout your day to keep you grounded, to keep you in your knowing of you and checking in with your guides, checking in with your soul, which is your high self, checking in with you as you navigate. Nothing is to be taken for granted. Everything is heard by infinite mind. Everything is heard by invisible helpers. We're not going to be able to hide out and be snarky, And also, there comes a time we don't want to really be that. You can tell a lie so many times, you can't remember what your truth is for the path you're navigating. So this is all about going within as well. And then also, I got a two of air upside down. So our voice, our spiritual vision was temporarily on a hiccup because we want to blame other people because we feel sad because we didn't know because my job said do this, for example, but I knew it was wrong, but I did it. And then in retrospect, we also feel like we couldn't express, couldn't feel, wanted to switch, wanted to blame, but two of air. So this is just temporary because it's really this. It's really this. Look at all this beautiful blue of expression, of spirituality, of the sky's the limit, of freedom, dance, movement, two of air. I'm going to read from the tarot, the two of earth and two of air as well. So let's check in with that. All right, so two of earth. Pleasurable work, adaptability, balance between work and play. The balance between the right and seeming wrongness, or the good and the not so good. The balance of, in this life, finding joy, which is interesting, work being joy, because in his quest, in his inner journey, King Arthur doubting himself that his work to be king, did he in fact hold that confidence? He had to face that. Did he in fact really know and trust in that, in the destiny that was his? He examined his inner self, faced his demons, probably heard his spirit guides, his ancestors during this time of reflection and darkness of the night before, to be crowned, to be authentic. So two of earth My efforts bring me joy. Work and play are not separate because what I am doing is actually fun. If conditions change, I can switch gears easily. I am fully present in the excitement of creativity and eager to experience the surprises that occur when seeds have been planted to take root, sprout, and develop in unexpected ways. So, one way or another, my dreams manifest in the material world. So, his destiny, his dream, being king, being supported in that. And during this time of deception and change, as a compliment, things are coming about for you to be able to manifest. Going inside, seeing what's true about you, taking the trickery and deception not as something you have to live by or point and blame, but that you are expanding and growing, and you will choose work that is play. You will choose that broader, brighter self. Okay, two of air. Water, fire, air. Remember it was upside down temporarily? Stalemate, uncertainty, considering options. Now, interesting how this may correspond with reflect and repose. Time to take a break to consider my options and think about things. There is no need to rush forward. The perfect answer for the right highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state of mind. Interesting, right? There is no need to rush forward. The perfect answer for the highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state of mind. So reflect and repose. You may have felt like you weren't being expressive. You may have felt like you were a little on hold and opposite of, also the opposite of being not in a rush, that you were rushing. As far as this tarot goes, and their input is you were rushing temporarily, but you're taking your time because you know everything's coming, or you allow things to come and unfold. So it complements reflect and release. I was speaking to a woman today, and so think about the story or parable, or the mythology, however you want to look at, of the piece in the Bible that shares that Jesus brought his disciples out in the boat to fish. There was a seemingly great storm, and everyone started to panic that the seas were higher, that they would sink, and also they would not be able to catch their fish, so they would lose their prosperity and their meals and then die in this storm. And Jesus sat down, Jesus Christ, my cousin, sat down and said, be the calm in the storm. Be the calm. Don't get wrapped up in it. Stop. Sit. Let the storm pass. Stay yourself. Stay your sovereignty. Question. Think about it. Respond as necessary, but stay the calm. Stay yourself. Stay your soul, not soulless, which so many let go of their soul. And I don't mean any disrespect. Sometimes I do. But I don't mean any disrespect that you didn't understand the severity of the decisions that you were either rejecting, accepting, acting upon. So this is a time during this trickery and deception. You are in your mastery. So again, try not to settle on your blame of what did or that you didn't do. Me too. Knowing, not knowing certain things. Look at it like it's always for our soul growth. And how quick do we want to be in a place where we are fully accountable? Where we will say thanks but no thanks. Where we will invite more questions, more deepening questions. Where we will say things like, I feel sensitive about this, but something is troubling me and I want to ask. So show me the law. So something's troubling me. I want to ask, tell me about this. Do you want to tell me? Can you? Will you tell me? Oh, you don't? Okay. So that information sounds limited to me, sir or ma'am. I'm going to come back. No, at this time I cannot comply. No, at this time I understand we have these many laws. I need to talk to other people. I need to talk to our HR. I need to get clarity. We need more transparency. So tell me more. Or just the staying calm and sending out the best energy you can for the moment. Sometimes, even in that knowing, we can be a little panicky or anxiousness. But as we take a breath, as we are in repose, a little more information will come to us. So that during this time, again, these cards point to mastery. These cards point to taking a breath. The cards point to how great you are. The cards point to that we're going through our own inner questioning if you're willing. And through it comes really good things. That work becomes play. That we're trusting in the next step. That the perfect answer for the highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state of mind. So that is how us as gods and goddesses navigate this time of trickery and deception. We can know, we might chat a little bit, we might share, but we have to remind in the same breath as we share, like, what do you know? What do you know? What do I know? We have to remind ourselves to stay calm. We have to remind ourselves to not point the finger. We have to remind ourselves to reflect and repose, because remember, if most of us were in the know of things that have happened the past 60 years and right on it, the past 200 years and right on it, the past 1,000 years and right on it, at the turn of the century and right on it, all you psychics out there, if you were right on it, a whole bunch of people wouldn't have got this, and a whole bunch of people, more than likely, wouldn't have got this many times, and a whole bunch of people, the woo-woo people, would have stepped up more to say, hey, something's coming really a lot, and we got to be really awake about this time. That I'm just looking at the incense, make sure it's all right. Yeah. So I think this was really helpful. And let's just do the numbers, right? Because we actually have 3 twos. So let me go to Google and let me ask what the 3 twos and just remind us an angel number what that is. Okay. And I'm going to add them all up together as well. So hang on. Google, tell us the symbolism of the number 222.
According to Chicago Reader, 222 is a message of hope, representative of balance, harmony, life choices, commitment, compromise, and trust. It's a sign you can build on your current situation to achieve your goals and more. You might see angel number 222 when you have important decisions, conflicts, or changes in your life.
I agree with everything that's said about, except the word compromise. I think that's thrown in definition to also screw us up, like the word karma is just about action. It's not about, sorry guys, it's not going to be that the person who smashed your car is going to get their karma because they were mean to you or drunk or whatever. It's not about this retribution and this point system. Your soul is not about a point system. It's not about a point system. Hello? Coming back life after lifetime is not about a point system. It's about adventure and rising up in our energy to actually get to higher dimensions so that we are our ascended master presence, not only on earth or anywhere we want to be. So I agree with a lot of what that said. I hope you go back and listen to it because I think it had a really clear, important, in fact, I'm just going to read it one more time. Message of hope, representative of balance, which I talked about, harmony, life choices, commitment, and trust. It's a sign you can build on your current situation to achieve your goals and more, which was talked about in the cards. And this number comes up when you have important decisions, conflicts, or changes in your life. So that was cool. Now, 222 is 6, which is also getting rid of, negative energy, which the first 2 oracle cards added up to. So there you have it on that. Together, all these numbers, what will that reveal to us? So this was, so that was 6 and 4 is 10. So 6 and 4, 10 is a number 1, straight as an arrow, know thyself, going within. Straight 10 is also a number of completion in tarot. So my number 1 for me is straight like an arrow, strong and assertive, individual self-discovery, a great start to new beginnings, Let go of old energies. Perhaps you may have been choosing some negative old energies or patterns. You're struggling, right? In these times of trickery and deception, maybe we are struggling, and these cards were pointing to how we go within. We're calm in the storm. Knowing thyself and inner power is the total number for this. But remember, 10 is the number of completion. So I hope you like this transmission of card reading tonight. We're at 40 minutes, and I'm going to say so long, but to see you next time. I really appreciate you. If you found any value, please send this off to your friends. Trying to make this a bigger channel of light and care and the goodness of light, virtue, nobility, and to also do some mentoring and some energy transmission. So you'll see any information in the description. I'm going to give a shout out to currently I'm listening to a lot of Jake Ducey information, and he takes a lot of old time information and just places it in an easy, understandable way to process, how to really do great visualization and great manifestation. Until I talk about that, and until next time, good wishes. My little coyote heart just loves you. You are powered by the stars. We are the spark of creation. Activate the power within, and you are the key.